My dear friend, I am going to present my research that is the soul is the source of power for all atomic energy, which is the source of power for both nuclear reactors and nuclear weapons. Actually, the similar presentation I have presented in the conference at Zurich, Switzerland, which titled as the reverse physics of life in universe multiverse from electrical energy flows from God in space through astrology of life. So I am
Om Siddhi
here
Goraknathaya.
starting my
Good
presentation which
afternoon,
is
my dear
common to
friends.
both of you. Thank you.
Myself, Dr. Manish Kumar. I am very happy to present to you before my research that you have requested before you. That is the reverse physics of life, universe, multiverse from electrical energy flow from God in space through astrology of the life. So, I hope the theme of the conference, enhancing new challenges in the odyssey of physics, is going to meet out by my presentation. I think I am going to present the best challenge to the odyssey of physics. So, with this, I introduce you to certain of my work, previous works that I need to go through once again for you all, so that you can understand my quest for what I am going to present, which is the challenge. So, as you know, the necessity is the mother of invention is the famous proverb which originates from the inquisitive mind of human beings. From Paleolithic age to modern world, the fight for survival is the necessity that lead to the consequential development of modern civilization. The most revolutionary theories came from those who has undeterred faith in God. The only proof of God was the undeterred faith of human beings, which was being challenged by many atheists, those who deny his complete existence, and hence the debate leads to many war and bloodshed. God's physical existence and his interaction with the matter, living, non-living, is beyond the realm of physics, as the boundary of physics is h crossed by 2. Different potential ideas in physics has utilized the mathematics as a diagnostic tool, and the various prescription came from sectors like classical physics, modern physics, computational physics, theoretical physics, applied physics, metaphysics, solar physics, biophysics, astrophysics, etc. for creation, invention and discovery, as the physics is the study of science that deals with the energy and matter and their interactive nature with each other. So, this is the first proof. Firstly, I want to reiterate it again through my paper, which is I quote from the quantum physics, from the Heisenberg uncertainty principle, that the God doesn't play dice. From the Heisenberg uncertainty principle, I have already proved that there is the existence of God, because probability theory or uncertainty doesn't lie with God at all. So, from here the corollary of this paper is also that there are basically two types of energy. One is the positive energy and another is the negative energy. Positive and negative doesn't mean positive negative in other sense. It is only the perspective. You know, we take as a reference, 0 as a reference. So, whichever side you take become positive and others negative. Since for the present world, we generally denote positive energy as a male soul and negative energy as a female soul. The positive energy is indicated by in Hindu mythology as by the Lord Shiva, in Bible by Adam, in Quran by Adam, and Hindu mythology negative energy is represented as Parvati, in Bible it is Eve, in Quran it is Hawa. Okay, from there, this is the model from the hydrogen atomic model that I considered in space, and from the astrophysics, considering the force balance equation exactly, not neglecting the gravitational pull between the proton and electron also, considering even though small, I have just considered the exact force balance equation. Just I hypothesize a model, a perfect spherical model, an electron being revolving around the nucleus in a radius of r with velocity v. So, mass of proton and electron are given by that. So, when you put all these values into this equation, force balance equation, we get magnetic field in terms of all other known constants. So, now make an analogy between the hydrogen atom and the universe. Mass of proton is replaced by the mass of God, considering and the mass electron is replaced by the mass of universe. So, with the atomic force equation, if you replace E is equal to mc square, replace m by equivalence of energy and E by energy, we get this equation, famous equation h by d that I have proved in last year. You can very clearly see the energy of God, energy of universe, it means both the God or the universe are in opposing nature, and there proves also that why the gravitational wave exists, and r is the distance between the two, is the possible creation of the universe, and hence h is the weak constant magnetic field that already proven by the NASA to be exist. So, if we know energy of God and the radius, we can find out, or h is known, we can find out all these things. So, this and from the metaphysics deals with all types of the metamorphical form of the life. Here also we say that the soul just only changes body by the famous shloka in Gita, Vasansi Ranani Yatha Vihai Navani Grihati Naroparani Tatha Saranani Vihai Jiranyani Sanyati Navani Dehi. As a person puts on new garment, gives up old ones, similarly the soul accepts new material bodies, giving up the old and useless one. And the second shloka I have taken as a karmanye vadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachan ma karm phal hetu bhurmate sangavastat karmani. The meaning of verse in the English is that you have the right to work only, but never to its fruit. Let not the fruits of action be your motive, nor let your attachment be to inaction. Similarly, from here, these are the consequences developed from these things, that since we are male soul and female soul are considered to be a charged particle, and we know that electrical force can accelerate or decelerate the charged particles, and magnetic force can only change the direction of particles. And also remember that electric field is the cause of magnetic field from the Maxwell's equation, del cross E is equal to minus del B by del T. So, if E is not there, B will not automatically follow. So, we relate this science with the karma or the life as electric force being the karma represents the work, and the magnetic force represents the luck, destiny. So, as soon as, so we have to write in work only. As soon as we generate work, our karma, our destiny is automatically generated. Hence, the result is consequence of only your work, not it is previously existing. So, soul changes body as we close, we know. So, luck, that your karma is stored as information in the soul as magnetic energy and transferred to your next body, we call it as a new destiny. Now, this can be more exactly represented. Suppose if one can be expressed as a complex number, since complex number is always having a most general number representation, and it has polar form representation which has a magnitude and a phase. So, the magnitude of a complex number represents the maximum work one can carry out, and the phase represents the desires of a person, or we can righteously say as the consciousness of person. One has to control over one's consciousness via the 5 sense organs, but both the work or the amplitude and the phase are functions of time and space. This is the reason every person is affected by the whole universal phenomenon, consciously or unconsciously. Internal force is the driving force that causes action. This is universal fact accepted by theist or atheist. Two needs that drive the life, firstly the biological and the secondly psychological. One's action is purely a reflection of these needs. So, the limit of this consciousness is salvation or moksha. Understanding this by a more methodological and scientific approach will put a final stamp on end of physics. Now, this is a very simple derivation, a mathematical derivation. I have shown that since we are evolving with time, so omega and the propagation constant both are complex in nature. We can put and we obtain that C is a complex. So, C, the velocity that we call it, you can see its nature. Now, the biophysics, the most important, since we are alive, we always have to live life. What is the consequence, why we are born, what is life, is a famous book written by Erwin Schrödinger. So, from my hypothesis, I have already explained that positive energy being male soul, negative energy male soul, and the gender of child, and we know that gender of a child is determined by the chromosome pair XX and XY. XX is for female and XY is for male. So, what happens basically? Triggering, these soul causes triggering. So, moment the soul entering the body, interaction of matter energy in case of life, In reproduction, it is actually mating of male and female leads to formation of another life depending upon the following chart. That is, when a soul triggers while mating, the X of the female egg and the Y of X of the male soul, male body, then a female is born. And similarly, X of female and Y of male lead to the male generation, boy child generation. And the reverse, when the X and male soul triggers XX, female soul triggers XY, a third gender is born. This is how these three forms of life are formed on the earth. So, this triggering mechanism I am not going to detail, that I already told. So, these are some few scientific papers supporting my hypothesis how I am relating to science to spirituality. This was the paper published in the Opticus letter, which shows the linear mode conversion of radiation, normal falling radiation into surface magnetoplasma. The important thing is that in the presence of magnetic field, here why I have considered the magnetic field to be present there and their surface ripple. So, this paper is going to prove very important while I am going to deal in my further talk. So, this just only you remember that whenever normal radiation fall, any radiation fall on the ripple surface in the present magnetic field, it is converted into magnetoplasma, surface magnetoplasma. So, how it deals with that I will deal later on. So, there are some few facts I have already presented in my previous talks in various conferences. These are the proof I have got. This is my house that I was building on the day March 1st, 2018 at the time of Holika Parv on the Purnima. These lights were shown to fall into my house, and this was you see in the basement at the time is given, and this was both side you can see that light is going upwards. These two mesmerized me that what is this happening, what is causing me to learn all these factors, how I am getting slowly. And these are the two photos for my Grih Pravesha, in which the green patch of light you can see the color combination of violet, green and in between. These light combinations also led me to think more deeply into the root cause of origin of the life in this universe or multiverse. So, basically, and again by the blessings of God, another lady Vandana Singh gave me a pic when I discussed something about our astrology to her. Because of her interaction, she gave me this pic that she clicked into their house, that Om. From this Om, I just concluded certain animations and I tried to show via this animation how is that, which I have showed. So, I just want you to focus only for 1 minute for this whole process. Later on, I will show what is the consequence of this in my future presentation. Please watch. So, my dear friends, this final frame is very important. I have already shown in my previous work, which was presented last year in Boston, USA, that creation of atomic particles from electric energy flow from God in space. For further derivation, you can go and refer to that. I have already uploaded in YouTube. This is what I have shown the representation of these serpents, Vasuki and Sheshnag. They are basically the antennas, one is transmitting, one is receiving. Vasuki is taking energy, oscillation energy, electrical energy from Lord Shiva while mating and delivering it to the Lord Vishnu via receiver Sheshnag, which gives to the Vishnu. So, these antennas basically are coils on which the continuing forces light radiation is being emitting and giving that energy to the Brahma, the founder of universe, who created this universe. So, our universe is getting energy from Lord Shiva in this way. Now, how this information is also God has devised one of the most prominent method called astrology in Indian mythology. In Indian Vedic, we Indians heavily believe in astrology, because astrology is a science, is a branch of study which totally tells about the person's complete nature, his relations, past, present, future, whatever will be going. So, that is why I told you God and the planet. So, that circuit, how it is related to the astrological phenomenon, astrophysics, that I am going to prove it now by the God grace. So, just you from this frame, you observe the next slide. You see, this was the Om. In Om representing the Lord Shiva or the mighty, which is delivering the power. This is giving power to the whole universe. Whole, as this picture is captured by the NASA, the infrared image of the whole universe, that can be maximum catchword. So, this is our actual universe as seen by us. You see the vastness of it, and you can see this is just another form of that. And so, this radiation is falling something. I have also taken a picture from Google website from clicked by NASA. This radiation is falling to this, and this is our Milky Way. You can see very clearly our solar system is lying here. We are here. We are given by a very small point in the whole universe, in the Milky Way, in that corner. And so, this is again a picture clicked by Hubble telescope and other probes sent by NASA into the space, showing universe, our Milky Way galaxy, where our solar system lies. You see, we person standing here is basically in this solar system, and in our solar system is pictorially represented by these planets, and there are 9 planets running there, and these are the already everyone is familiar with that. And so, one important thing is that our solar system is basically have an anti-clockwise solar system. We can stand outside, if we stand outside of the solar system and look down upon it from above the north pole of the sun of the earth, we would see that nearly all the bodies in the solar system have motions that are anti-clockwise. The sun rotates on its axis in an anti-clockwise direction. The earth also rotates on its axis in an anti-clockwise direction, and the earth revolves around the sun in an anti-clockwise direction. All the other major planets and most of the minor planets, asteroids we call, also orbit the sun in anti-clockwise direction. A few comets orbit in the opposite or clockwise direction, but most of the planets rotate about their own axis in an anti-clockwise direction. This is called as the prograde rotation. Venus and Neptune are exceptions. Venus has a very slow clockwise rotation termed retrograde, and Uranus, although it rotates every 15.5 hours, has its equator inclined at almost right angle to its orbital plane. It is thus difficult to know whether to describe the rotation of Uranus as a prograde with an equatorial inclination of 98 degree or retrograde with an inclination of 82 degree. So, this universe information I am going to tell you later on. So, this is our solar system. It is indicating the number of days each planet revolves around the sun, sun being our star, which is feeding our energy to us, not only to us, all these 9 planets. So, we are receiving energy, then we are reconverting that, reflecting that energy to other planets, but all these are affecting each and everything. So, Earth has 365 days of rotation around revolution around sun, and similarly other planets are shown. This is not important, these things are known to you. My concern is to go on. This is the image of Earth obtained by the satellites sent by NASA and other satellites also, which is showing a beautiful our mother Earth. This picture, various forms of sides of the picture. This is showing the African continent with the, all the winds and oceans, and this is the next picture clicked by other motion, different portion. This is the African continent, you can see very beautifully. This is the American continent, North America, South America, and this again is coming towards the African, towards Asian continent, and here you can see very easily our India as shown in this graph in the Indian Ocean. And so, you can see this is our India on the globe, and hence why I am talking of India, because why everything originated from in India, the astrology and all this thing is going to be important. That I wanted to emphasize, because our sages have learned through meditation. They have not gone outside of the universe. Just through meditation, deep meditation, they have realized all the universe and put all characters very correctly, even so correct that no computer, no today's machine can challenge it. In fact, the zero was originated from India, we can know, and without zero, no other calculation, astrological calculation or anything could have been possible. So, understanding zero was possible in India. So, why India is going to give again the world a world of hope again in this all the negativity, because not understanding zero and not understanding astrology is causing all great confusion in the world, and hence chaos and the disturbance and problem in the environment. Here you can see the first pic is showing the sun is ejecting coronal mass and the earth magnetic field is protecting magnetic field. If earth wouldn't have a magnetic field, no life would have been possible on the earth, and this coronal mass, this magnetic field is causing to forming a Van Allen, we call this as a Van Allen radiation belt, found in the name of scientist who discovered this effect, Van Allen radiation belt. So, this magnetic field, so that is why I told you why it is important to have a magnetic field. If a magnetic field acts like a cover, and Indian astrology magnetic field is also represented by how that I am going to tell later on, but how this scientific astrophysical phenomenon is related to the science through astrophysics, I am just going to demonstrate. Just these are the environmental beautiful facts discovered by the NASA. This is a proof that no one now today doubts or questions. So, my next slide is about, these are the showing how the magnetic field or because of solar current push of the mass from the sun, radiation from the sun is causing belt to extend in the backward direction, or the charged particles are how they are captured. So, these are, and you can see in the second pic, the rotational axis and the magnetic axis although not coincide, and so earth is inclined at certain, whatever we devise direction as a north, south, east, west. If you have these axes, the magnetic axis of the earth is inclined at certain angle, that we know that is 23.5 degrees from the north, that I show you in the next pic. So, this is what the magnetic axis of earth is showing, and earth is revolving in anti-clockwise fashion, So, how this is related to what I am going to tell is going to come into the next slide. You see, this is the perpendicular axis of rotation anti-clockwise, and inclination from the north is 23.5 degree, and here is the yes, here I have drawn a circle which direction as you indicated, east, north, coinciding with the direction that we have shown in the earth. So, important thing is that this I call as a Sudarshan Chakra for the named as in the astrology of Indian. Here the east direction, just you first of all you see how it is going to relate it, and the sector 15 degree up and down of the east axis is called as the first house. So, if we divide space 360 degree by 12 number, so each sector comes out to be of 30 degree. So, that is we call it 12 zodiac signs. We call it 12 zodiac in astrology, 12 zodiac signs. We call it the 12 house of a astrological period, and hence 12 zodiac signs are evolved. The name you already knew it, that first is known as Aries, then Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, then Scorpion, then Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and then Pisces. These 12 zodiac signs are given by number. Number third comes to be of Gemini, but the direction, since I have just shown you a direction by a circle, you will be confused by these things, but I am just showing a analogy between these earth system and this. Presently the east is inclined along with the earth direction. Now, see the next slide. Here you just see certain animations that I have drawn to draw your attention toward how this astrophysical phenomenon is related to astrology. You see that Sudarshan Chakra I am mapping on the earth, and you see this is presently coinciding with the earth axis. East and east are matching, north and north matching. Our next slide is that. So, here I have try to put a superimpose on this Sudarshan chakra the earth inclination, so that you can see the axis of rotation is coinciding with that angle that I have drawn, and that is coming to be 11th house. You just see exactly superimposing 23.5 degree axis is coming in the 11th house of the house, and this is what we call it Sudarshan chakra. If we fade it, you see, you can see if we fade the earth effect and put boldly the Sudarshan chakra. So, this is presently what coinciding with the direction east and according to earth. So, you have observed the axis of rotation of earth is falling in the 11th house and the 7th house. So, what is 11th house and 7th house, that I am just going to tell you very clearly. You see that. Now, if you suppose in the next slide, if we rotate the direction, it is coming over. Yes. Still the east is that. Now, the next slide showing, if you suppose rotate the direction, just change the direction, it is coming. If we rotate it just by 90 degree towards the north side, I think one of the thing which is analogous with the Indian astrological chart that we prepare will very clear. Just watch it. Yes, this is rotating. We have rotated the reference, just like we rotate the coordinate system, we rotate and we coincide north east to the facing to the top, and then what happens, east now is facing the top, and then this direction become north, this becomes south, this becomes west, and now from here, this is what I have taken a help of software, Parashar Light software taken from a friend, and use his software to describe that I have they have drawn it very beautifully. This we call as a Sudarshan chakra of any person's kundali. So, you have seen the internal circle is representing the birth chart of any soul born on the earth, and the outer circle represents the present astrological position of the in the chart. Well, all the 9 planets, where they are situated, in which houses, which direction, in which zodiac sign they are presented, it is shown. So, person born at the time, the person born at any time is shown by the internal house, which is we know called as the birth chart or the lagna chart. So, this gives any person born with this. So, any zodiac sign rising in the east direction is considered as the lagna of any person, and you see. So, first of all, I would like to show certain things about the kundali, like this is my kundali. So, I have taken a demonstration of my birth chart to tell you the impact of earth rotation and how these houses are representing. So, as I have seen, now the east is the first one, the center house, that we call as the first house, is representing about the body. So, in this 12 houses are there, each house represents a person's total involvement, every aspects of life on the earth a person is having, all its relations, where it is born, what he will do, what she will do, who will be their partner, who are the mother, father, what time of, all things are predicted by, calculated by the Indian astrologers using this chart. And I think most of you all now in the world are known to that. In fact, the western persons use sun sign, we used to have a moon sign. So, our astrological chart is based on the moon impact, but this chart is prepared using this. So, what is the impact? The first house, the in which we call a lagna, in which my Gemini is situated, then it is representing the body. Second house represents the money, your wisdom, it is about the mind, your wisdom. Third house represents your power. Fourth house represents your about your mother, your pleasure, your all sukh, and fifth house represents about your son, your education. Sixth house represents about your enemy, debt, and the and the disease. 7th house represents the partner, who will be your partner. 8th house represents the death or the pain you will receive. 11th house, 9th house, it represents your luck, destiny, what luck you are having. 10th house represents your work, what work you will perform, what type of work will be suitable to you. And 11th house is known as the house of profit. Here all the 9 planets, because we have divided 9 planets into in the different aspects. We call 4 planets as a very good planets and other 4 planets as a diamond planet. So, we the Indian astrology, all the 9 planets and the Mercury being the neutral, it is the representing the power wisdom. So, it has been represented as a neutral person, and each Mercury takes the form with whom Mercury conspires on his house, on whichever house Mercury lives. So, that property is taken by the wisdom. You know, any person, any intellectual or wisdom person has a cunning property of to take a side of those from where they get a profit. So, this is the property of a mind, wisdom, those having a, so Mercury is represented by that intellectual. So, 11th house is always considered as a house of profit. Any planet situated here never gives any wrong effect on any person's soul, person life. And the 12th house represents the expenditure, how much expenditure, what is your expenditure will be there in any form. Expenditure could be money, your time, your anything you. So, these are all these things that you can learn more about. My concern was that the 11th house being the house of profit, like here my house of profit, the Aries sign is there. So, what is, and this is my birth sign. So, what is that? At my birth, my Lagna is Gemini, the sun sign and the both sign, moon sign is also Gemini, but my zodiac is Aquarius. Because moon is situated there. So, these positions, these placements of planets in particular houses, in particular in space, affect a person born. So, when a person soul comes from 11th house, that is what I am saying. In my previous slide, in which I have shown the energy is coming from Lord Shiva. So, that side is south. So, I would like to again, yes, you see this. So, now you have understood what is this chakra represents. It represents basically Kundli in a circular form. It does not have that trapezoidal and triangular form. It is showing a circular form. Just to have an idea from where this astrological sign, this soul enters. So, soul enters from the 11th or the south direction from the sun. So, after mating, the soul from the sieve arises, goes to 11th house. Then from 11th, when so because the biggest profit for any person is to take a body form, because when you come into life, then only you can perform any action. So, when you are born, you will perform an action, then you will your fate will be generated. So, difference of work and fate will cause you pain or death. Then after you will getting your partner, and once you are joined with a partner, then you will have a enemy, debt and the diseases also. And since when you are combined with a partner, you will have a son, and then you will form a house, then you will form you will get a power, and then you will get money, and after that you will be enjoying this central life. And after all the expenditure, the 12th house represents expenditure. If you have gone all totally debt free, then only you are able to come out from that and get into the Shiva back, that is called salvation. But if you are having any kind of debt, any negativity you have formed, you will again fall into this chakra. So, this is what I am saying, using this Kundli's astrological phenomenon related by Kundli, just by sitting here, you can know what is the purpose of life. In fact, like in my electrical engineering, we used to draw electrical circuits, and everyone used to draw a circuit to guess about the current and all these things. So, exactly the similar analogy can be done by the Kundli also. So, that is why I am saying astrology is a perfect science. Only thing is to that you can only predict as much as possible the more knowledge you or more depth you are having about the astrology. So, here again I am reiterating this beautiful thing is, so according to the topic that I have told you, we can find the reverse of physics of life through astrology. We can go back to our origin, when and where Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu are situated, how the earth in a scientific way can be known. So, astrology science has to be studied in all together to get the complete and the true picture of the universe and the true purpose of each soul. So that we must remember that whatever you sow, you reap. So, from this astrological chart and phenomenon, one thing I have also learned in my life, that whatever I am facing, whatever I am getting reward or punishment, it is none because of other, it is only because of me and my action myself, because I have committed some sin or committed some reward in the past. But in present cycle, since I was not knowing previously the astrology, so I was confused how I am, why I am getting all these things, why I am getting pain, why I am getting sorrow. So, when I have gone through these things, I have meditated, I have realized, so I am blessed that because of my Guru, Baba Goreshnath, I am able to visualize myself, my inner self, to see where I belong to and why I am doing, what is my purpose. So, my purpose is to impart the true knowledge of the ancient sages, which is free of cost, to every human being, so that they must work in a very, very positive fashion, so as to create a better ecological environment for the coming soul, because any child you are born from your gene or from any other gene, it does not matter if it does not born from your gene, still all are God's child. So, it is each one's responsibility to take care of all the living form of the world, so as to make the most harmonized environment on the mother earth, so that God may wish everyone happy and realize everyone the true purpose of their life, that is salvation. That is still a very big debate, and I think in this small presentation I am not able to tell everything, although I have sent my video to your community already in a very crude form, that you said it is not in a proper format. So, I just revising it, and you see at this moment, since I am not getting so much direct energy, and since you are asking me to speak in only, so something I am missing, the thing I wanted to convey. So, I hope all you scientific community, whatever video I have sent it to you, can you get translated into your native language and understand that was the moment when I have directly received the signal from the God, that I have told about the universe and everything. It is for the benefit or for all of the humankind, because without knowing that, we are not causing problem to others, we are causing problem to ourselves. If we don't do best, one day everything will be destroyed, and we have to pay for our sins. We will be rewarded for our beauty. So, it is we ourselves, and you see these astrological signs, if you want to go more detail, please go through it. There are so many literatures available, so many researches have been done. So, we are doing nothing, we are just trying to, try to have a deep introspection and love for the mother nature and love for humanity, for life, so that we all may flourish together in a very peace and harmonious way, so that everyone could attain the most beautiful life on the earth, and the earth as a whole can become the heaven, where the God may also comes to the side. So, that is what I am saying. So, purpose of OM is to, and that is also through scientific, very scientific process. I have told you, it is energy that is falling trap. So, whenever we are having certain debt of anyone, debt cannot be only of money form. If you take any credit, any negativity from any person, you are getting debt. So, until unless you repay your debt, you won't be coming out of this life cycle, and you will again circulating whatever tricks and things you perform, except yourself, no one is going to recover you. It is you have to do the duty to get away from this life cycle, or else leave it. Sometimes you may be very happy, sometimes you may be very sorrow. It is because rest of the action is automatically followed by the three basic fundamental laws of universe. These are, I call it law of conservation of energy, law of conservation of momentum, law of conservation of charge. So, this universe is perfectly fixed, we can say. That is why I say God does not pay dice. So, my dear friends, with this astrological chart, I have shown you what is the relation between science and Indian astrology. Both are perfectly scientific. So, again here now in the last, I would like to again acknowledge Ms. Srimati Vandana Singh, and the Rose of Edutainment Private Limited, which who has created my animations. And again, just yesterday, 3 such calls from Department of Computer Science, Institute of Sciences, BHU Varanasi, just inspired me, helped me in getting this final form of presentation. So I would also like to acknowledge them, because credit, acknowledgement given to any person from you gave idea, it is must, because if you want to remain that, don't try to forget any good deed done by anyone, because if you do it, if you try to think you are sabotaging me, you are doing nothing. They don't know anything, they don't know whether I am giving credit or not, but it is God who is judging you. So don't think God is every time watching you, your action, automatically we are getting benefit. So whenever you do good deeds, it is returned back to you. All these things are already known true. So I have taken some references, my papers are published, which is in scientific, like effect of magnetic field, that is electron filtron laser, and these are the papers I have already cited. Kindly go through it, and if no one understands it, please come to me. Since I have no money, left, so I can just collaborate, I can guide you online, I can tell you everything online. So we can have a collaboration, we can have a coordination with each other, so that to make our earth very peaceful place. So in the last but not the least, Om Namah Shivaya. Om means soul, Namah means mind, Shivaya means body. So 3 things, soul, mind, body. So finally I am leaving this with, and I am very happy and thankful to you that you gave me a chance, opportunity to speak before you. So Om Namah Shivaya.